do not forget about these amazing products at Sephora. I do this video every time there's a Sephora savings event going on because it's a fun way for me to shop my stash for Sephora products that aren't necessarily new and now and talked about, but I wanted to give their own spotlight. So these didn't quite make the cut for the recommendations, whether that be because I've talked about them too much or because they just weren't as exciting products and they didn't fit because I already have 30 products. No, but I recommend all of these products for the Sephora sale if you're looking for maybe not like the hottest, newest items. Like, these are old products to remind you that they exist, they're great, they are worth the money, and these have more longevity in my collection. Like, I can guarantee you these products perform fantastic because I've used these over and over and over and over again. So let's go ahead and get started with prep. I'm going to start off with my lips. This actually is a fairly new product, but great formula. This is the Pharmacy Lip Smoothie in Honey Vanilla. I put it out actually with the smoothie recipe. I'm going to make this when I'm done filming. It just sounds delicious. Here's the recipe if you want it. Thank you, Pharmacy. I've used this a handful of times before. It's a really beautiful formula. This is the second one of this flavor that they have, so I'm familiar with the first one that they launched. But it's really thin and smooth. It smells so good. It has that honey vanilla fragrance. I'm going to let that sit on my lips, hydrate, and then we're going to go in with the skin. Now, if you notice any pilling, it's actually because of my moisturizer. I'm surprised. I used the Drunk Elephant moisturizer with the light purple top, and it literally is pilling on itself. It's not a good sign. I'm not as familiar with that moisturizer. But anyways, more for skin prep for makeup. I have been re-inspired to pull out the Natasha Denona Hygiene Skin Glass Hydrating Primer Serum. This is a beautiful product, and she did just launch that highlighter. I still have to continue playing with that highlighter, but I'm just going to use it today as part of the routine. I just love these. This is like a glazy, milky color. Has a little bit of gold in there, and it's really beautiful before makeup application because it's hydrating. It's a skin serum, but it gives the prettiest glow. And the reason she brought out that highlighter that she launched is because this performed so well. Everybody was loving this, and for good reason. I was one of those people. I'm trying to not apply too much, but I think I'm getting carried away. I don't know. I feel like all of the tutorials that it's popular to say skin prep before skincare, which is important, but you don't want to do too much skincare or layering because then your makeup won't last as long. It'll break up easier, higher risk of it pilling. So I do like to keep skincare simple before I'm actually going to be wearing makeup. So I'm going to give this a few minutes to settle in since I do have a heavy moisturizer layered on today as well. And we're going to get going with the eyebrows. Now, I recommend this pretty much every sale. It wouldn't be right if I didn't put it in this video since it didn't make the cut for the recommendations. This is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. An oldie, but still one of the very best. And you guys, the only reason that this didn't make the recommendations video is because it was too dang long. And I've talked about this so much that hopefully you get the point and you've already tried this. But if you haven't, this one is so nice. And I can't believe it's been there. It's been around the block for so many years at this point. But it still is one of the best hold products. Now, when this product came out, this fluffier brow style was not as popular, but it's so good for the fluffier brow look as well. So it's just interesting how this product was so good from the start that even during this fluffy brow phase that everybody is in, more natural brow phase, that it still works really good in that style. Anyways, I need my skincare to soak in, my lip to soak in, my brows to dry. I'm going to wait a few minutes. Okay, and then for brow pencil, I pulled this one where I feel like it's never been the star of the show, but it's one that's been around for so long that I love, the It Cosmetics Brow Power. It's a thicker brow pencil, which I normally am not so into, but it just works for this product. And since I did my brow gel first, normally I find I don't need to do too much filling in. I like to do a little bit underneath here for some definition. I like to extend the tail of my brow a little bit, and then right here is where my eyebrows are sparse. So I just fill in here a little bit. Do that over here as well. And then I'll just do random strokes throughout the brow just to make everything look more natural, since this is a little warm against my natural brow color. I'll do that. And that's it for filling in the brows. And then to clean everything up, I mean, I've talked about this so much. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Boundless Bisque. It took absolutely everything in me to not mention this in my recommendations video again, but is that good? I just didn't want to be too repetitive. And I'm just going to use this to clean up underneath the brows. Sometimes I'll use like my foundation or concealer, but this is just quicker sometimes. It's also more natural as well. Anyways, let me know if you have spent too much money at the Sephora sale. So I've only done those 2 videos that I did. So one was online and then one was in store. And then I did order the Hourglass Vanish Press Powder because I had to. I was going to buy that anyways. So might as well get the 20% off. That's all I've done so far. Not that that's minimal, but that's what I've done so far. Okay, for foundation now. I was going back and forth. I pulled the Dior Forever foundations, but I actually talked about those last. Don't forget these amazing products at Sephora. So I wanted to then do the Very Valentino Light Lasting Perfecting Foundation. I never really gave this its star power because I purchased this months and months and months after this launch, but it is a really great foundation, so it wasn't really relevant for me to share my love for this as much, but this is like an off-the-screen love of mine. It's super reliable, thin, very smooth on the skin. I will say though, this brand, is it Valentino or Very Valentino? Anyways, this brand, the prices are always a bit shocking to me. But I just love how smooth this glides over the skin. What shade do I have? MN1. Though I'm going through a new humbling myself phase and realizing I'm not as tan as I used to be. So all of my foundations are too dark on me, unfortunately, because the other foundation, besides the Dior Glow that I was going to talk about, was the NARS Light Reflecting. But the foundation shade that I had was so dark on me that I was like, y'all are going to clown me. Let me do something a little bit closer to my skin tone. But look how beautifully that just soaked into the skin. It becomes one with the skin. It's so thin. It works itself out. I just told you the Valentino prices are kind of insane. Most of the time I have a hard time justifying the prices, but I'm telling you, this foundation is worth it. It has that luxury blend out where you really don't need to work too hard to get this to blend into the skin. It almost does the work for you. And 80% of the blend happened by just dispersing the product on my face with my finger. This foundation is just, it's so beautiful. It's so thin. It's natural looking, but it has a good medium coverage. Definitely worth considering picking up while you can get a discount on it because Valentino is such a pricey brand and never ever have sales. So that's a good brand to look into in general. Okay, let's go into concealer. I'm going to use the Milk Makeup concealer. This was an all-time favorite concealer for me the year that it launched. It was like the only good concealer that launched. Of course, now there's so many good ones, but this Future Fluid concealer is beautiful still. I still love it, so we're going to use it today. And I just feel like this one just got lost in the sauce. Nobody talks about this concealer anymore. But it is still so good. It's thin, it has good coverage. I'm just going to start off with it right there. This, by the way, is the House Labs concealer brush. It's a bit big for getting right in this area. But for a general blend of the concealer, I'm liking it. And then I'm going to go in with my sponge to give us that skin-like finish. And then I like to always blend my concealer down over my cheek, add some extra coverage over this area. Beauty blender, which is also good to get during the Sephora savings event. Even though you really don't need to buy the Beauty Blender brand, I love it. I always am reaching for my pink Beauty Blender. It's just the best consistency and squishiness. Okay, let's do some cream work before we get into the powder. I want to do cream bronzer and blush. Those are two cream products that I love. Now, I'm okay with an all powder look. Don't get me wrong. But since creams are trending, I thought I'd bring back the Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Cream Bronzer. Butter Biscuit is the shade that I use. An amazing cream bronzer, lots of shades, really creamy. Again, cream bronzers is one of those products where they're so trendy now, so it's easy to forget about the old and forgotten, but Fenty does have a beautiful cream bronzer line. They also have the sticks, which are pretty good. They used to be so stiff, and then they reformulated them, and the formulation is so much better. But I do find this to be more malleable. I would say nowadays I tend to be more into stick cream bronzers, but I did go through a phase where I preferred a pan cream bronzer. Nonetheless, this is still good. I like a pan cream bronzer because when you go in with a brush, you can just get the most even placement of the color. That's normally why when I have a stick, I like to go over the stick with the brush first. It's just the best way to get all over even coverage and application of the product. And then if you feel like you applied too much or it might look a little bit less blended on the outer parts, like right here, I'm just using my foundation sponge, and this will make it all look really seamless. I have so many baby hairs. I'm sorry, I know they're always sticking to my forehead, but I shed a lot, so I always have so much regrowth, which makes my little hairs everywhere. And then cream blush. Nobody talks about these, but they make the prettiest, juiciest cheek. And I think it's easy to be forgotten because Danessa Myricks already has a cream blush formulation that's really popular. So I can see this in the future eventually being phased out of the line. So I need to tell y'all to buy this so that she doesn't phase this out of the line because it's not the popular cream blush product, but it is so beautiful for a juicy cheek. This is a Danessa Myricks Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette. And you need to know about this because it is the product that does not get enough coverage. You have a couple different colors, like more of like a nude blush and then a pinky blush. I'm going to mix these two together on my cheek. Hair sticking to my face. So I'm going to put the mauve down first, and then a little bit of the pink right on top. And then I'm going to use my brush, and I'm going to just blend those out. This is a stickier consistency, which is why you might be off-put by this product. It actually is really nice to use your fingers to blend out, but it'll take a little longer. It's not like the most blendable, creamy, smooth formulation. But there is something about the way that when you apply it to your cheek with a finger, it really holds the glow. So I used my brush to blend it out, and then I used whatever was left on my finger just to finish tapping right on top. And then look at the beautiful glow that gives the cheek. Okay, anyways, it's not the traditional blush that's popular from the brand, but it needs to remain in the line. And these make beautiful lip colors. I used to have a makeup artistry palette of this that I would bring and use on clients. So it also has some nostalgia for me, that's for certain. Okay, mauve color down first. You definitely want your fingers to warm this up. Pinky color over top. Gonna use my brush to get a nice even blend out of the product over the cheek. I applied too much on this cheek. I'm gonna tamper it down. but this is more so what I was going for coverage-wise, and then a little bit more of that hot pink with my finger over top to keep her looking dewy. But yeah, this gives a dewy look to the cheek. It's so pretty. Not enough people talk about this palette. And then now for powder. I know cream makeup is what's really popular, but nothing takes away pores and makes you look perfected like powder. Don't be scared of powder. One of the best is Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. This is also one of the oldest to the market that has just stood the test of time for sure. And you know, I stopped using it for a long time. It was popular like in the 2010s. And then Huda Beauty came out with that powder. And so I was only using the popular powders. And then one day I picked up the Laura Mercier powder to see, you know, after 10 years, what do I think of this powder? And it's better than most. So yeah, it's one of the best. So I'm just putting this in the center of my face. So that's beautiful. It just kind of perfected my face, got rid of any additional shine. I'm also going to set with a powder bronzer. So I didn't bring a powder blush, but I did pull a powder bronzer for this because this is a major treat yourself product, okay? I'm not saying you need to have it, but if you want this product, Gucci Beauty never has sales, so this is the time to purchase that Gucci Beauty bronzer you might have had your eye on because it is a beautiful bronzer. I'm going to use a Rephr number 5 brush. I have the shade 01, and I'm just going to lightly set the cream bronzer. When I put on cream bronzer, I don't always feel the need to set it with powder bronzer. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. Kind of depends on the day, what I'm doing, if I'm going out for a long time or not. But it really does help with longevity. And the reason that you would layer a cream and a bronze powder is because I feel like the way that a cream bronzer applies to the face leaves the most seamless effect with the skin. I'm not saying that powder bronzers can't, but there is something about the way a cream bronzer becomes one with the skin. And then if you want it to last longer, you want to bring back out the bronze color, make it more visible and bronzy looking, then you go in with the powder over top. And then this is an old school thing, but I still like to do it on days that I just want to look perfected and snatched. I went back in with the Laura Mercier powder, and it's an old school trick that like some people might say is outdated at this point, but just a little bit right here, you know, it really does clean up the look, especially, you know, if you over blended your bronzer and your blush. This will clean up that area. And then to finish off complexion, I pulled an oldie but goodie, the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlight Duos. These were so popular back when they first launched, and you know, there's just so many highlighters now. I have the Mean Money and Hustla Baby one. Still a beautiful product because you have more of a natural highlight and then more of a glowy highlight. I do have something absolutely disgusting to admit to you guys. This is the highlighter I bought the day that the brand launched. Like, I was rocking this highlighter in college, and it still holds the integrity and quality of that day that I bought it. Not that you should test products like this, but this does have a very long lifespan, which is a good sign of high quality. So I'm starting off with the natural highlight just to lay the base down to nicely bridge the blush and the concealer, and now I'm going in with the more glowy one. Now I pulled this out specifically because she is being retired. I swear Fenty Beauty actually just sent me a package of some of these highlighters, so I'm going to replace this old one with a fresh one, but I thought we'd take her on her last rendezvous together. But these are really beautiful formulas, really beautiful color range as well. So don't forget about these. It's easy to forget, don't get me wrong. There's so many highlighters on the market nowadays, but I like that you get a softer one and then a more blingy one. And then to finish everything off, push everything together, add some hydration. I'm going to use the Hourglass Soft Focus Setting Spray. This is such a good setting spray, and it really does lock in hydration and then just make everything look more skin-like. With a beautiful mister at that. Just gonna give this a couple minutes to soak in and do her magic. Now for eyeshadow, I feel like what's trendy with eyeshadow right now is simplicity. And one of the best products for simplicity are these Kaja bento, beauty bentos. These are surprisingly like luxurious quality, and they're so cute and tiny, and you get 3 shades. It depends which one you get, because sometimes, you know, they're all matte, but this one has 2 different brown shades, different depths, and then a shimmer shade, so it's really self-explanatory how to use it. This one's the shade Dahlia, Chocolate Dahlia. So I'm going to use the middle shade with a blending brush, and I'm just going to pop this in the crease. This is a beautiful mid-tone shade for my crease against my skin tone, and I'm just going to lightly blend this in that area. And this product is a good way to not have to think about what eye look you're doing. It kind of does it for you. Also, if you are planning on splurging on a palette, I do recommend Natasha Denona palettes. Okay, so I just gotta get that out there. A Natasha Denona palette is never a bad purchase. Don't get Pat McGrath though. She has bigger sales on her website, so it's not worth it for the Sephora sale. But anyways, these have been in my collection for a long time, and they are always something that I've wanted to recommend because they are such good quality. They fall to the back burner because they aren't a big palette, so my eye doesn't really draw to them. But when it comes to that simple eyeshadow look that's trending, these are great because not only are they simple, but they're such good quality. And they have so many different color variations. I'm going to take a pencil brush, and I'm just going to run this along the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take my finger into the shimmer shade, and I'm just going to press this all over the eyelid. A simple one and done shimmery eye wash color is very popular. That's why I recommend this Chocolate Dahlia, because it has such a pretty shimmer shade that you can just put all over the eyelid. Especially if you have hooded eyes, make sure you're pressing it pretty much over the whole eye and crease area. This will just open up the eyes. Isn't that beautiful? See, I don't even use this trio enough. I think it's stunning. Rose Water is another shade that's really beautiful. It's pinky colors, if they still have that one. And then I just love an eyeshadow for eyeliner, especially for quick and dirty looks. So I'm going to use the darkest shade and an angled brush. This is just a random one I have from Lottie London, and it's great because you can just press the depth into the lash line. You see the difference that it makes, and it's literally 3 seconds to do. If you are a beginner to eyeliner and think you suck at it, because it's very easy to suck, don't get me wrong, don't feel discouraged. Start off with eyeshadow. It's so much easier because all you have to do is pat it along the lash line, and it's softer, so there's more room for error as well. And then I always like a little bit of a wing. I just think it's more flattering on my eye shape. So I'm going to create a little mini wing. Okay, I'm going to get a little curl in on the lashes. Then I'm going to do a mascara that is just really fire. Nobody talks about the Armani Eyes to Kill. It will flake, so just be careful of that. It's not super flaky, but sometimes I will notice a couple flakes, so I want to preface with that, but I don't mind it. It's very few, and I like the way that this makes my lashes look. So I'm just going to run this through my lashes, which are far and few between, but I've been embracing the natural lash. And my trick to how I've been able to embrace it is to let the mascara fully dry on my eyelashes. Then after it's 100% dry, I'll recurl my lashes, and that's how I've been able to still feel confident with my natural lashes, because at the end of the day, I am a falsie girl still. In style or not, if you have short, sparse, thin eyelashes, you know the struggle. I'm gonna let this dry, and then when I come back, they're gonna be curled. I forgot how separating and how this multiplied my lashes. Good mascara. Okay, let's do lip liner next. I have to talk about the Tower 28 multi-liners. These do not get enough attention, but they are so stinking good. I'm going to use the shade Work of Art, which is like a mid-tone mauvey pink. I think that these are the most beautiful colors. With a little bit of brown in it. I love these lip liners. There's nothing special to them. They're a wooden lip pencil, but they're just so good, and the colors are even better. Anyways, if you're looking for a good new lip liner to try, love these. And then for lips, I recommend treating yourself to a nice luxury lip product. Okay, the luxury brands, they don't go on sale very often, and there's nothing to make you feel bougier than pulling out a Dior lipstick or a YSL lipstick, anything like that. So today I shopped my stash, and I want to use this Dior Addict and in the shade Thai and Dior. Look how beautiful this packaging is. And this one is one of like the balmy colors. Look how pretty it is. I do not use this nearly enough. How pretty is this lip combo? Just for like a nice nude pink look. Beautiful. Love this lip so much. I forgot how good this formula is. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't used this in a long time. But that's so pretty. Here is the final makeup look. As expected, because I know, love, and trust these products, the makeup is makeuping today. The skin is beautiful and glowy and not too heavy, but still very perfected looking. Really simple, easy, trendy eyes, beautiful lip. I mean, I stand behind all of these products. These are all products that have been in my collection for a long time now, so they get my stamp of approval. Like, I think if you are interested in any of these products, you really are in for a treat. They're very nice, have stood the test of time, because I know a lot of people are like, you know, with these new products, there just isn't enough time to really test them. These are the products that there has been enough time to test them, and they're awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, since I do like to do a little shop my stash for every Sephora sale, and this is the look that we got today. It's definitely within the style of makeup that I've been wearing a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. And I hope you guys are enjoying Sephora week. Have a good one.